Hey bees, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have not done a sit down video in a really long time. So you guys are probably wondering what the hell is going on. Why are we getting a sit down video? What is this about? So this is going to be all about my journey to finding out I had PCOS, ovarian cyst, and so many other health issues. It's been kind of like a whirlwind for myself. I feel like I've just been through a lot of different changes in the last year. January really kicked my ass because it started this entire thing. This new year has been absolutely crazy to me, and I kind of just want to share my journey because I know that a lot of people also struggle with health issues, and you're probably wondering, why me? Why am I having to experience so many of these things? And I just want to be your type of support and let you guys know that we're not alone. There's so many people like us out in the world who has different health disorders, health issues, and it's really hard to wrap your head around. But yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about my journey and how I got to the point where I am. So yeah, so this started back in 11th grade year of high school, which I think is like 2018. I think right when I turned 18 I ended up getting an IUD. I ended up getting the Marina IUD. That one is for 5 years. It has a little bit of hormones. I didn't really do that much research as I thought I did. I did research of people getting them inserted, what they thought about it, how long they actually kept it in, and all that good stuff. And so I was like, cool, I'm gonna get it. I'm tired of taking birth control pills. I was taking several different birth control pills. By several I mean different brands, and all of the brands would break me out really badly on my chin, on my cheeks. I still have really bad scarring from that. I do have some redness, as you guys can tell, and some scarring on my chin. So I was completely done with taking birth control pills. I gained a lot of weight. I think I gained from 11th grade year to 12th grade year, I gained about maybe 80 pounds. I grew significantly. Even now I'm still overweight, which also has to do with the reason why I have PCOS, which we'll get into it soon. So I actually got into, that was during the time I got into a really serious relationship with Chris. I got with him 10th grade year. By 12th grade year I already knew that it was going to be a very serious relationship, and I wanted to make sure that I not only protected myself but protected my future, making sure that I just don't accidentally have kids, especially since I'm getting out of high school and going into college. My complete focus wanted to be on school, and so I made the decision. I spoke to my mom. She kind of told me that she had gotten one as well after she had me. After all, she just ended up getting her tubes tight or whatever. She didn't say it hurt at all, and she thought it was a great idea, that I was getting this inserted. She was like, I mean, it's a way to protect yourself, and if you feel like that's what you need, then go for it. My mom has always been 100% supportive of the choices that I make, and she also has been very honest during every process that I go through. So I ended up getting my birth control IUD inserted in a Planned Parenthood. Not a Planned Parenthood, was it? FPA, Women's Health. I think it was a Planned Parenthood. I don't even remember. But the place that I went to, I hated it. They didn't inform me about nothing. They gave me a pamphlet. They didn't ask me any questions. They just honestly were a horrible place to go to get my IUD inserted for the first time. Moving forward, finally, I think a year later, I hadn't gotten my period, and I started to get a little bit worried because my mom kept telling me it's not normal that you don't get your period, it's not normal. But I would talk to the doctors and they would be like, it's 100% normal, you don't have to worry about it, it's normal, women don't get periods when they're on this. Some women do, some women don't. It's just different for everybody. However, for me, I just did not get a period at all, and that had been for a whole entire year. Mind you, my period has always been consistent. It always has been on time with how long the longevity of it. It only lasted like 3 days, but it was always consistent. And I always grew up with extreme like pain. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I thought I mentioned it. So I finally decided to get it removed. A lot of doctors thought it's because I wanted to get pregnant. It was not because of that. It was because I seriously wasn't getting my period, and at this point I was starting to get a little concerned. I got really concerned. Finally, I scheduled my appointment to get my IUD removed. I go into the appointment and the doctor says that he can't find it. Mind you, when you get your IUD inserted, they tell you to feel like every 2 months, every 3 months, to make sure that the string is still in place, because a string is hanging out of your cervix. And they just tell you, sometimes it could coil up and you can't really touch it. But for me, I didn't bother checking it every 2 to 3 months. I actually didn't check it for that entire year, and I didn't think anything of it. I was reckless. I didn't really care to check it, to be honest. And when the doctor was like, I can't find your IUD, that made me really concerned. They ended up needing to send me to an ultrasound specialist. They ended up sending me to a radiology lab to get an ultrasound done, to locate where the IUD was at, and they were able to locate it. I went back and got it removed. It was like really painful. I was screaming. Mind you, I don't have any kids, and I hear that not having kids hurts more than when you do have kids. I don't know if it's a myth or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I get it removed, and I did a little bit of research to see like how long it would take for my period to come back. It said anywhere from 3 to 4 months is normal. It normally takes that long for your hormones to last. Mind you, I did not have it on for a long time. I only had it for about a year, maybe if that, and I guess that year was enough to create such problems and issues for myself. Along this journey of having this issue of not getting my period, I had not gotten my period at this point for like maybe 6 months. I was starting to get really concerned and worried. I also had developed this thing called MARS or SARS. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it right here. Doctors don't really know how you get it. Apparently it's like a dormant disease that is on your skin for some reason. Sometimes, I don't know, it activates. I don't know what it activates with, but unfortunately I ended up getting this disease. It could have been from getting it from somebody else or whatever the case may be. This is actually a disease that's really common, and I was actually studying it not that long ago, which is so surprising that I'm like, I can't believe I got this disease. It's really hard to find a cure for this, especially because they don't even know where it originates and how you get it and how you get rid of it. I mean, there's not really that much studies, and I was getting these nasty, like almost like boils all over my body, and this made me really insecure, and I could cry, but I'm not gonna cry. I promised myself I wasn't gonna cry. This made me really insecure, and it still makes me insecure to this day, because after all of the boils, all of the, like, they almost look like pimples, but they would get infested, like, not infested, but they would get infected with pus, and it sounds so disgusting, and it really is truly embarrassing to talk about, because you don't really hear people talking about this and what this disease is and how scary it truly can be, because if you don't treat it or get medicine for it, it could truly kill you, and you know, it can go in your bloodstream and kill you. It's a very serious disease that not a lot of people talk about. But it had first started off with my boyfriend's brother-in-law, and he was the first person in the family who got it, and then it just trickled down to everyone else. I guess everyone else at this point had completely been cured by it. They only got like maybe a few, and then it completely stopped. Me, on the other hand, it just kept going over for like 3 years, but at this point it had been at its worst. I had it all over my thighs, I had it all over my stomach, it started growing on my arm, and it was just the worst experience of like health issues, health disease I've ever had, because scars were left behind. And I will show you guys how the scars look like. They look a lot minimal now because after time they just kind of fade away, but I still have some pretty prominent ones that are still there, and I don't even know if they'll ever go away. I don't know if my skin's ever gonna look the same after all it's ever been through. And I think that's why like I'm so anal about skin and making sure I am showering every day, making sure that I'm, you know, giving it its moisture, make sure that I clean my sheets once a week. And so even though it probably has nothing to do with that. So at this point it was at its highest. I ended up going to the hospital, and they had asked me because it was really bad, and I couldn't sleep. If I moved to one side, I had like a bunch on my thigh. It was I have no idea how I let it get this bad, but once you start going into disease, it's almost like you don't really care, or you're so used to it because you've had it for so long. And so when I went to the hospital, they told me that they're going to do some labs. They ended up doing a blood draw, and they ended up telling me I had pre-diabetes. Now, I'm only 21, and I thought to myself, I cannot believe this is another issue, another thing that just happened to me right now. My dad has a bloodline of family who has diabetes. He himself also has it. So I already knew that one of us was probably bound to get it if we weren't taking care of ourselves. Hence me, at this point, I'm at my highest weight. I weigh like 231 pounds, which is absolutely insane. I only am 5 feet tall. And I am at my highest weight. I'm not healthy. I have this skin disease all over my body, and I'm just told that I have pre-diabetes, and I just completely lost it. I didn't know what to do at that point. I was completely hopeless. I thought, like, this is what it's doing to me. It's catching up to me. All those years of eating hot Cheetos and not eating actual meals, or eating out all the time and not eating healthier meals at home. I just everything kind of just started coming down on me, and it doesn't even end there. You know, I did talk to the doctor, and I asked him, what can I do so this doesn't turn into permanent, you know, I have diabetes. I'm still at the pre-stage. My doctor tells me that I should probably start losing weight, stop eating so many carbs, and start eating more greens. And that's exactly what I did. And people can say differently, but keto literally changed my life. It did me wonders. I went on keto for a month. Literally the next day, I did not give up. Literally the next day, I stopped eating carbs. Literally every single carb, I stopped eating it. All the bad carbs, let me say, like bread, because oatmeal has carbs. If you believe it or not, broccoli has carbs. Like even healthy vegetables and whatnot has carbs. So yeah, I stopped eating the unhealthy carbs, started eating healthy carbs like vegetables and stuff like that. So within a month, I lost 20 pounds. I am no longer pre-diabetic, and I'm at a very much healthy weight right now, and I'm still planning to lose weight. I weigh 215. I don't know where I got 20 pounds from. Maybe. Like, I lost 15 pounds. And I lost 15 pounds. I weigh 215 now, and I'm still on this health journey. When I was told that I was no longer pre-diabetic, I'm not gonna lie, I started eating carbs again. I still have not eaten chips. That is one thing I don't want to go back to, because it was such a bad addiction that I would eat it every day. I would wake up and eat them. I would go to sleep and eat them. I would substitute them for meals. Like, it was really a horrible addiction. And for me to be 6 months clean of chips, it's a serious thing. They really do need a Chips Anonymous, because I would have to attend to that. Just saying. So at this point, it's December of last year. It's 2021, and I still haven't gotten my period, even after all this is going on. I finally decided to call my OB. I don't know why it took me so long to like actually call, and I called and I scheduled an appointment. They gave me Provera, which is basically a pill that helps you induce to bleed. You take it for like 10 days or something like that, and like a couple days later you start bleeding. It did work. I got my period for 2 months. Then I got it for February and March. May, June, I have not gotten a period. So I ended up contacting my doctor. They ended up doing a blood test and an ultrasound. It turns out that I have 2 ovarian cysts, one on my right and one on my left. And so I'm getting my ultrasound done for why I don't get a period anymore after my removal of my IUD. So I don't know. I don't think they're giving my results today. I think I have to make a separate appointment for that. But I don't know. So crossing my fingers that everything looks normal. I need, you know, some type of explanation on why I don't get a period. So yeah, we're just gonna have to write through the pelvic one. I'll tell you guys everything afterwards. And my doctor says that I have PCOS. And at first I didn't know what that was, but it's a really common disorder that women get. It's basically a hormone imbalance where you have to take medication in order to regulate your hormones in order so you can ovulate. It also can cause diabetes, which I didn't know was a thing because I did a little bit of research. I don't even know if that's true or not. Quote me if I'm wrong. Let me know down below. But I just found out today. Today's the 15th of June, and I found out today after I ended my phone call with my doctor, and I did ask him, you know, what causes it? Like, what can be another substitution to me having PCOS? And he did say obesity. He said diabetes. He said you being unhealthy is a part of it as well, but there's not really one thing that we can pinpoint that causes this, and we don't really have a cure for it. We can just tell you how to maintain it and how to help your hormones. So one thing I didn't know, I actually just started doing research on the IUD. IUD is actually something that can cause ovarian cyst, and I've never had an issue with my period, like I said before. And I know for a fact it was my IUD that gave me that, the ovarian cyst. So it just sucks to see like me trying to be healthy, trying to help myself and my future, that I ended up actually hurting my present self back when I was deciding to do this IUD, deciding to eat all these carbs, deciding to eat all these bad things. And it just sucks to see like how I'm at right now. And I'm not gonna lie, like I feel somewhat depressed, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. You know, I'm young and I can always go back. You know, this just pushes me more to be more healthier, to lose more weight, to be a voice to others and let others let others share what they experienced, what they went through. Definitely share your story down below if you have PCOS, if you have ovarian cysts, if you got your ovarian cyst removed. I don't even know if I want to get mine removed. I have an appointment in July to see if they dissolve on their own, but if they don't, I get the option to remove them if they really do bother me, or just leave them. But that also can be alarming because they can easily grow even more. So yeah, I just have so much to think about, and I have a long journey ahead of me, and I'm finally sharing my story. I'm not afraid to share what my journey is, where I'm trying to get to, and the struggles that I've been through, as I know there's so many other people like me who are young, old, different ages, it doesn't matter, where you're struggling with your health issue and you are just trying to catch a break. So yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I know it was a little bit of a harder one, but I am actually really happy to share what I'm going through. I know I'm not looking like full glam makeup. I just felt like this video is not that type of video where I have to put my lashes on, where I have to put foundation and a nice shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt, okay? So it's just one of those videos. So let me know down below your experiences, if you've experienced something similar, if you're going through something like this, your experience on the IUD, if you recommend it to others. I personally don't. There's so many other ways, and I feel like just IUD is not something that you can control yourself to put it in, put it out. So definitely do your research, talk to your doctor, see what works for you and your body and your family. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.